This video will show you exactly how to practice reality transurfing, how to apply it into your life, and how it can radically change the results you're getting with creating what you want in your life. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be specifically talking to you about how to practice reality transurfing, which, as some of you may know, is a process that I have been talking about a lot on the channel recently. And that's simply because I think it's a very powerful process. Now, it's originally, just to give this video context, it was originally and is a book that was written in Russia by a quantum physicist named Vadim. And he made this book. Now it's been translated to a whole bunch of different languages. And the book is something that was recommended to me by a friend. I started to apply it and I started to get my results were just coming so much easier. I was like, things were just happening versus me having to always force everything to happen. And because of that, and because I've got such great results, I feel like I want to share that with you guys so that you guys can get similar results. So the first thing is I encourage you to try it for yourself, to see how it works, and then to make a decision as to whether you're going to continue to use it. But that's what happened to me. It started to work, so therefore I'm now studying it more and more. Now, reality transurfing, just to give this video context, is about understanding that there are an infinite number of parallel realities. Think of this in the sense of when you're thinking about, it's called the alternative space is what it's called. Now, the idea is normally with the traditional law of attraction teaching of like how we're supposed to manifest or create what we want, it's about having a strong desire and then having that strong desire and then having things come, and it's like almost we attract them from out there and into here. Now with reality transurfing, it's more under the awareness that there are an infinite number of parallel realities and that you are choosing with your choices, with your intention, you are choosing the life tracks of what you prefer. Now this has a deeper level of awareness that everything exists here and now. Now you can imagine that the best possible version of yourself, you doing exactly what you want to be doing for a living, that reality exists right now. There's also the exact opposite side of the spectrum. Now when you understand this, it then becomes a part of how can you, in a way, glide with that? How can you allow the reality that you prefer into your life through your choices, your actions, and you really following your purpose? Now, there is something else when it comes to reality transurfing that is called pendulums. Now a pendulum is a thought structure that is created when multiple people think the same thing. So the idea behind this is that our thoughts have an electromagnetic reality. They continue, even though we can't physically see them, the idea is that each one of us creates our own layer of reality, and then together our layers will overlap and create its own thought structure. So many times we think that we are having the thoughts of ourselves, right? We're thinking, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that this person should win presidency, this team should win the sports team. And even though that may be something that we want or don't want, the idea is that most of the time it is a pendulum, which is this thought structure that has its own level of energy that is swooping you up and making you think that that's what you're thinking. So there's pendulums when it comes to everything. There's pendulums when it comes to football teams, sports teams, certain beliefs, being an American, that's a pendulum in itself. A lot of these have to do with the collective thought structure that overlays into each other, and when we are feeding and paying attention to any of these perspectives, or they're on autopilot, we don't even know we have them, those run themselves out. So the power of that is to become aware of what those pendulums are and to start to think for yourself, to start to kind of let go of the collective thought structures or the momentum. Anytime we get and add energy to it, we add energy to that pendulum and it becomes more powerful. It starts to swing a little bit more. So if there's something you disagree with, like in the government or something like that, the idea is to not emotionally trigger it and fight it, because by doing that, you're actually keeping it alive. The way that you bypass that is you move your attention to something else. That's why I don't get involved in politics. That's why there's a lot of things I just don't pay attention to, because it's just not relevant or beneficial for me to pay attention to it. Now, the other part of this is understanding that you must follow your heart. You must understand what a real goal is. Most people are focused on things that aren't their real goal. They're focused on things that nothing to do with their passion. And because of that, they are kind of focused on the side effects of what they want. So for example, many people will focus on money and say, I want money into my life. And the thing with money is that money is not an actual goal. The head understands the money because the head can understand, hey, the money equals the freedom. But the idea is that The heart doesn't get it. The heart's like, well, it's just paper. You know what I mean? Like, that's from the ideology. But what happens is when you make the goal itself about something you're really passionate about. So for me, traveling the world, speaking to people, sharing these ideas, that's a goal I can connect to my heart because it's something I'm passionate about. And the side effect of that is the money, is the abundance. So I'd say the first thing that you can really do when it comes to reality transurfing is following your heart and following your passion. When you do that and you're in that state of being, you align the head to heart, which is very important in the reality transurfing idea and process. And the other part, before I get into the video, I know it's already almost 6 minutes in, and we're just now getting to understand the content of the video, but I have to give these bases to really help wire in what it is so that you understand where I'm coming from. The other part of reality transurfing that is very powerful is understanding how to decrease the amount of importance for anything that you want. Most people, and even me, this is probably one of the game changers when I was learning reality transurfing, is that anything that you want that you put on a pedestal, you energetically put it on a pedestal, and metaphorically speaking, balancing factors come into play to balance that out. So it's almost like you're not going to get whatever it is, or, you know, say you're putting a specific person on a pedestal. You're like, I'd really like to attract that person. You put it so important, you put them on a pedestal, you immediately start to distance yourself from them. Now, the reason this is because when you do that, the balancing forces have to, you know, come into play to make it so that it, you know, it balances itself out. Otherwise, you create what is called excess potential. Excess potential is what then is where the balancing forces come into play. So what you do for this is you make it less important for you to get what you want because you're already okay with where you are. You know, you don't need somebody else, or you don't need certain things to happen in your life because you realize that you can feel grateful for where you already are. So that's one of the most powerful concepts, is when you decrease the importance for something, you actually increase the ability for things to really happen in your life in a powerful way. Now, when it comes to reality transurfing, think of it in this metaphor. I was just thinking of this when I was coming here to create the video, just because I think metaphors play to the brain in a completely new way. So reality transurfing. Let's look at the word itself, reality transurfing. So it's a philosophy that is a way of looking at the world that can change everything and help you understand how to put your energy into the world, or how to change what you experience. Now, think of it like surfing on a wave, right? Surfing on a wave, you have a wave that carries you. And the idea is that it's carrying you, and think of it through parallel realities. There are different parallel realities, and rather than trying to control everything, you know, when you're surfing, you can't control anything. You're just more of riding the waves, right? You're letting it carry you. You're choosing where you go, and in the way that you can, like, push in this direction or push in this direction, you are choosing in parallel realities. Those realities already exist. It's a matter of choice more so than anything else. Now, the wave will carry you, and what's important to understand is this understanding of what is called inner intention and outer intention. Inner intention is the ability for you to paddle on the board. It's the ability to decide which waves you're going to ride on, which waves are going to carry you. That's the choice that you have. Now, the idea is as the waves come in and you start to choose the wave that you want, the wave will then carry you. That wave that is carrying you is what is called outer intention. That is the intention of the lifeline itself. That is the intention of your higher self. That is the intention of the universe. And when you tap into that, that's where amazing things begin to happen. And the way you tap into that is by understanding how you can really influence the subconscious mind, which is a very important part of the process. Understanding that when you have beliefs about reality, that's more of outer intention. The inner intention is the desire or determination to act, whereas outer intention is the determination to have. It's more of the end result in mind, but it's like, think of it as you manifesting something in your life, or you allowing the universe to manifest itself. That's why I think sometimes it's so powerful for me to share these ideas with you guys, because it's my inner intention to do so, but it also links up to my outer intention and the outer intention of the collective, because I believe that it links up with your intention to learn more about who you are. So it's almost like the universe wants this to happen, because I am also able to provide you with your inner intention and, like, kind of give whatever you're looking for. That's kind of the idea. Now, in order to do this, and in order to really have the awareness of how to go about reality transurfing, the important thing to understand is observation. This is the main part of the video right here. It's understanding that in the traditional ways of understanding the law of attraction, it's about how can I will myself or desire something into my life and attract that from that's over there into here. The idea is that anytime we have that perspective, think about it in the form of resonance. If we are in the current moment saying, I desire something else, it means that I don't already have it. If I desire to go into the stream right here and do a cold plunge, it means I'm not currently doing it. And the moment that I then make the intention to do it and then I walk over there, then that desire is then translated into an action, into intention, and that's where the power comes from it. Now, under this understanding, what we can more so do is understand it's more about the observation. It's more about a neutral point of manifestation than thinking it's going to make us feel at like a 7 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10 if we're talking about like a scale of how we feel, right? Our state of being. 1 feeling okay and 10 feeling amazing. If we are at a 5 or 6 as our base point, we assume that our manifestation will bring us a 10 out of 10. We are setting it so far outside ourselves because it's not natural and it's not practical for us. So this observation point of view comes with the awareness that everything in life is fundamentally neutral, that we decide the meaning as to what things mean. And when we start to tap into this, we see that it's more about making our goals something that we begin to feel comfortable with. Now, of course, we can stretch outside. This has no determination on the limitless, like limiting who we are and what we can experience. But what this means is that as we consistently think about something common enough and we make it something that's natural for us, we can imagine and know that our goals can be natural for us once we think about them enough, once we make it comfortable. It's better to make something in your mind comfortable through repetition of visualization and all of this, rather than trying to make it something that's going to be so far outside of what we think we can experience right now. So this is something I think is absolutely powerful. What you can do is start to first off know and learn how to observe your thoughts rather than react to them. When you observe, you are able to then start to choose your perspectives. You're able to see things from a higher perspective, and that allows you the ability to then choose the lifelines you want, choose the kind of expression and what you're putting out into the world and how you're choosing what you are experiencing in your life. So this is more about observation. It's more about, it really brings in the Eastern philosophy of things, and as it brings in the Eastern philosophy, it makes it easier for us to detach from the outcome at the same time, by decreasing the level of importance. Now, there's something else I want to talk about real quick with reality transurfing and the practice of, going about it, is creating something called a slide. Now, realize that the first thing, if you simply apply intention into your life more, things will begin to change. Most people, they just simply don't set intentions. It's more so about just doing certain things, or it's, they don't even know what their goals are. They don't even know what they want out of life. And because of that, there's no focus for that parallel reality to come into place, because it's just like, there's just none of that, because there's no focus, there's no direction. So think of focus in a way like direction. And what you can begin to do is to begin to have an intention first and foremost. And as you have an intention for something, you're going to start to see more of a reflection of those things coming into your life. You're literally choosing those life tracks. Now, the next step to this is creating what is called a slide. Now, a slide is like in a movie, like a movie reel, and you were to like put out a movie reel right now and you were to see different frames on it. The idea is that, of course, all of those different frames exist right now in the present moment, but the continuity of how they were going through the light and how we are seeing it looks like it's all in one continuous frame, right? We learn about this also when I talk about parallel realities, or when you learn about parallel realities. Now, what you want to do as a slide is you want to take one of those frames where that one frame means something with your goal. And you want to imagine as if you're looking through your own eyes and as if you're in that kind of experience. That's how the visualization works. And what you do is you imagine one snapshot of what that would represent to you. And what you do is throughout your day, you think of that from an observation point of view. You don't think of it like that's going to make me feel 10 out of 10. You look at that and you think, and you could feel the passion in your heart, and you could feel that that's something that you want to do. And as you feel and you see that, you overlay that periodically throughout the day. Maybe you do it every time you're going to the bathroom. You set yourself to where you're going to set that slide. Every time that you go to eat something, before you drink water, you're going to think of your slide. When you think of that slide, you are out of the alternative space. You are bringing the probability of that experience into your life. And as you do that, then it's like you're linking up with that timeline more and more that's representative. Now, you can't make this process more important than it is. Otherwise, you create excess potential and you'll create resistance and it won't actually work. So do this as something that's light. Do it as something that's fun. understand the power of observation, I've also created a MP3 guided meditation that will wire in all of these ideas that I'm sharing right now. It'll help you decrease the amount of importance, use visualization to connect with that version of you in the alternative space, and help you using NLP to wire that into who you are so that when you come out of it, you're on the lifeline that you prefer. So that's something that you can download for absolutely free. That will be in the description box below. Remember that what I recommend with this is that you simply try it for yourself. See how it works, and from that point, then decide and then continue to practice it if it works for you. It's worked for me. It's been extremely powerful, especially the observation, creating from more of an observation point of view than anything else, decreasing the importance, following my passion, and knowing that as I do that, I create a higher and higher expression of the lifeline that I prefer. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you guys liked it, subscribe if you haven't already. Also hit that little notification gear next to the subscribe button so that you guys can see the daily vids that I do. And other than that, I'll see you guys on the next vid. Peace, much love, and namaste.